I'd rather like throw myself off a cliff before I have another child. Not for any reason.
Facts.
It's just, and I said, fuck these eggs, fuck these babies.
They're not
and
coming.
fuck the idea of ever having another one.
Do IVF and have kids if it isn't in your will to have kids.
But I was just a monster for some reason.
Men are so annoying and they just think that they just know everything. But be so for real.
Because these women dominate.
Yes, women do dominate, which is very
questionable.
Hello everybody, I'm Heidi.
And I'm Biba.
And welcome back to Aesthetically Sisters.
I missed you. This is my favorite time of the week.
I know, I miss you.
I'm so happy to be here.
Me too.
Guys, I feel like I have not seen, like I say this every week, but
it's
every
so
week
true.
we're getting busier and busier.
And yeah, our social calendars are not aligning at the hot minute.
I don't have much of a social
So it's me. I'm the problem.
You are. That's okay,
And
babe.
I take accountability.
Oh, you're so sweet.
That is what I do. I don't go to therapy for no reason.
Thursday mornings.
Yes, every Thursday.
No, that's good, but look how
Yeah.
far you've come.
Amazing, honestly.
I know.
So good.
All right. Juicy topic today. Slightly controversial, I think.
I think it's very controversial.
Yeah, I think everyone's got their own opinions on how this topic unfolds in everyone's life.
Yeah. It's definitely, I think it's like a new generation topic. I feel like maybe 15, 20 years ago, no one was talking about this.
I
it's
think
becoming-
Middle Eastern.
No, I think back then as well, it was not even a thing. Surely it wasn't an option.
IVF.
Solo.
Doing it
Surely.
on your own.
Nah, I don't think so. Anyways, the topic is really interesting today.
Yes. Solo parenting. What are your thoughts? Society and cultural.
Yes, it's a juicy one, but not just any type of solo parenting, IVF solo parenting. So there is single parenting, which is like Bibba. So she was married, had a baby, or like whatever, had a child with someone else,
Yes.
and they both see the child. Obviously, it's like single parents. And then there's solo parenting when you go and you do IVF treatments, which is like amazing, but
Yeah.
also is it?
This is juicy, guys,
there's so
because
much
we
to talk
have
about. My
very
brain is-
different opinions.
We do.
Slightly.
Like, I think it's a beautiful thing, but we'll get into it.
Yeah.
And then there's solo parenting, which is basically like someone who goes and does IVF independently, obviously most likely a woman.
And it doesn't have to be IVF. They could just sleep with someone to fall pregnant. Like,
Oh my God, I never even thought about that.
that's actually how you fall pregnant. You have to have sex.
No, but I'm thinking like someone, no,
Generally.
but like, you know how people have a choice to go and do solo IVF?
Yeah.
I didn't think that someone would.
Yeah. Some people would just be like, oh, I'll give you some sperm. Like, as in,
Wow.
just to help you fall pregnant.
I never thought about that.
They're like, their dick is like charity.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right, but yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we think. Like, we're at this, we were driving the other day and it came up in topic and I said to Heidi, this is a fantastic topic
Yeah.
to discuss because we do live in our time. Things have changed.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Things have evolved, things have developed, and things that were so voodoo back in the day are a lot more socially acceptable.
You mean taboo?
Taboo? That's what I meant. Things that were taboo are no
Guys,
longer
I'm
as.
Heidi's subtitles.
She is.
Like,
My brain doesn't brain sometimes, but Biba gets it.
I get it every time. I never miss a beat. Yeah, so back to what you're saying. Yes, I think things were a lot more taboo
Yeah.
and not spoken of, or
And really looked down upon
Yeah.
and like made people there was a lot of shame when people ended up in a single parent situation,
Yeah.
a solo parent.
yeah. Well, society looks at it as one way, but then culturally
And
it's
religiously.
religiously, like I feel like culturally / religiously,
Yeah, it can be under the same umbrella.
yeah, in some sense, because you're now divorced. It's like you're
Yeah.
broken goods, damaged goods,
Yeah,
and then you have a kid as well.
that's even,
Extra baggage.
yeah, totally.
Total extra baggage. So culturally, and religiously, it's really looked down upon. I feel like society just doesn't give a fuck. It's like high five, like you're almost like high fived. You're a baddie. You're raising your kid.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like it's hard to say like a whole group of people though, because there are some people in the society who aren't religious or like don't have a lot of culture to them and they still think it's a problem.
Yeah.
But then there's people who are religious and cultured, but then they're accepting. They're a bit more developed.
They're open-minded about it.
Yeah. But I think we can start with like solo parenting.
Okay.
Because to me, that's like so interesting.
Yeah. What fascinates you the most about it?
I think it's obviously because I'm still quite young, maybe I can't comprehend.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, like when I think about having a baby or starting a family, I think about doing it with like a loved one. And I think that's how like 99% of people would think about it. Or like everyone really. At one point in their life, they always thought when they have a family, they have kids, it's going to be with someone that they love. And then I feel like obviously life happens. People don't find the right people. They get divorced. They don't have kids. They hit an age and they're still single and they want to have, they're clocky as fuck.
100%.
And they want a baby. And I get that. And I think that it's amazing that we have these options now to do solo IVF, to you go to a sperm donor and get some charity sperm and have a baby on your own. And we actually have quite a few clients who have done this journey and I find it so fascinating. But obviously like it's uncommon and maybe that's why my brain's still like getting used to it. But yeah, I just feel like it's difficult being a parent alone, let alone a single or solo parent. And then I just think about the child. Like, how are they going to be when they grow up? Like they don't have an active father or mother in their life.
Yeah.
Like there are so many studies that say you need to have a mother and a father. Like, I don't know. There's just so many questions I have and I just don't think anyone has the answers for me.
All right. I guess, no, you're right. There are a lot of questions.
A lot.
We can debunk as much as we can today.
Definitely will be.
I, on the other hand, think, fuck yeah, go do it, you bad bitch. Get that baby. That's your dream. Execute it. If you know you can survive and build an actual happy home for you and this child.
I agree. We have a client who's been seeing us for years and years and years, and she came here from overseas and she just really was like a passive dater, was really struggling to find someone that she would enter a relationship with. And she just hit that point in life. She was in her late 30s. She's like, I just want a baby. And then my sweetheart sister gave her the amazing advice to go do solo IVF. Yeah. And then she comes back like 3 months later, was it? And she was pregnant. And I was like, oh my God, like it's amazing, but it's also crazy. Look,
she was freaking out though because she's Italian.
Yeah.
And her parents back home.
We're like,
she's like, what am I going to tell them?
Can you tell? Only Viva will come up with this shit, guys. Only Viva.
She's like, look, the story was she's just serial dating.
Yeah.
And she was like, I told her it's a jungle out there. Stop it. And she said, Biba, I'm dying. I need to have this kid. I need to have a child. And that's why I'm going out with all these men. And I said to her, you don't fucking need a man to fall pregnant. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, go down to the IVF clinic, the sperm bank. There's plenty of options. I said, flick through some catalogs.
And she
pick your mans, the sperm of the mans you want. I said, and go get it put inside of you. Have your own fucking baby. Stop waiting for a man to come around. And she said, what am I going to tell my family if that's to happen? I said, you tell them he got hit by a bus and died. And now I'm a widow.
And she did. And it's crazy. Like, it's actually wild. You can't make this shit up. But we made it up.
But it's true.
It's crazy.
And now she's had her second child.
Did she have the baby?
Yeah.
Oh my God, so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, bless. Yeah, so now she has 2 children and she's a solo parent.
I know.
No affiliation whatsoever with the father.
No, she doesn't know him.
She's only seen a photo of him.
And read his like height measurements and she made sure that he was quite tall.
Because she's short and she wanted a tall.
Yeah, and she's attracted to tall men.
See, that is amazing. Like when I hear these stories and I see these, I'm like, wow, like science has come such a long way. People are able to have kids and It's amazing.
It is
and
amazing,
you can
yeah.
literally pick through a catalog like you're building a Build-A-Bear
100%.
and put the pieces together of what you want this child to look like.
Exactly. And then you don't have to deal with any of the fucking man's nonsense in your life.
Wow. She's definitely been divorced. I agree.
And it's easier. You know you're going to have your kid forever. You don't have to go to court.
Is it easier? Is it?
Look,
There are always
I'm not a
challenges.
solo parent, but
Yeah.
I became a single parent when my son was 5 weeks old.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything to do with my ex-husband for a couple of years while we were going through court.
Yeah.
So that I basically solo parented there.
Yeah.
And he's still like, I don't get child support. I don't ask for anything. I just don't have time for any drama. So I don't care. Don't ask for anything. So, and he sees him on Saturdays.
Yeah. I know. Saturdays.
So I'm a solo parent.
Basically.
Basically.
But
It's not easy.
but he still has his dad. And I think
Yeah, yeah.
that's so important. 'Cause when
Absolutely.
you look at a child's development, it's so important that they have a female and a male figure in their life because like mothers are nurturing and soft and kind.
Yeah.
And the men really, they have a very vital part in the child's upbringing. They're
Yeah.
generally child generally fears them a little bit more. They build structure. They are important.
Yeah, see, I do not and will not allow my son to fear his father.
Not
It can have
fear.
respect for him, but
Okay,
he's
maybe
not,
fear's the wrong word.
Yeah.
But you know when you're growing up, there's always good cop, bad cop, is what I'm trying to say.
yeah.
There needs to be that. I think that is so important
Yeah,
because
I agree.
we don't want any silly kids around here.
But you see, with my son, there are times he'll say to me things like, "Oh, I just don't want to deal with my dad like the way he says things to me, the way
Yeah.
he comes at him about certain things, like why'd you cut your hair like that, and like stuff like that." And although he knows not to mess with me, but he knows he can
Yeah, but
be
your son
open with me. Like,
knows,
we're,
he knows his limits and
Yeah.
his boundaries. But I feel like he also feels comfortable saying those things because he knows you always got his back.
always
Good or
forever.
bad, always.
I am the good
But-
cop. I am the bad cop.
She's just
I am
and
the whole
friend.
police force.
She's everything in the one. But I just still feel like it's important to have both. Because
Yeah.
then like also for a child, they like say for example our client, she now has 2 kids without a father.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she doesn't have like her family here. There's no male figure in their life.
Yeah.
And there's only so much like
Yeah, every
you know
time
what
she
I mean?
comes, she does look like
It's
really
a lot of
exhausted and
work.
drained. Poor
And
dog.
then like how
Because she
like,
works full time as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because she needs to provide for these kids on her own. And then these kids are going to grow up and go to school and they're going to see the dynamic that everyone else has like a family or
Yeah.
a dad and a mom. Like, I don't know. I feel like the child could somewhat be affected and that's not something that's thought about enough.
Yeah. Look, I do agree. But sometimes I feel like the woman that decide to solo parent or the man that decide to solo parent,
They're strong.
that not only are they strong, but I also think they have a strong network around them of friends. So they end up these
Not
kids.
this client.
I know,
But you get what I
generally-
mean? Like,
I know,
it's
yeah.
hard. And I
Yeah.
get it. Like, it's a difficult time. You really just want to, you're ready for a baby.
Yeah.
I get it. But, like,
And
is it the
look-
best thing for the child is what
Let me tell you, when those emotions are raging in your body, I'm telling you, you're fucked in the head. You can't even make a proper, straight decision.
Wait, so you've had these thoughts to have a baby?
Do you remember when last year I had a fucking,
Oh my God, and you want
my
to freeze
brain
your eggs.
popped off and I was like, I'm 36. Like, what if I
Yeah.
decide I want to have another kid? And
Oh my God, I
it
do
was
remember
playing
that.
on my mind for so long that do I go and freeze my eggs? Like, who knows?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I look at my clients that have a daughter, you know, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could have my own daughter.
Well, I'm not good enough.
You are my, you
I'm
are
leaving.
my heart and
I'm
soul.
actually
you stay-
leaving.
You are my heart and soul.
Whoa.
No, but I mean,
No, I'm
like,
joking. No, I get it.
you get
Like,
what I'm
you want-
saying?
I get that.
you're eventually gonna create your own life. Like, go get married. You're gonna have your own kids. which your kids are going to be my kids.
I know.
Because I'm their only fucking auntie. Do you know the flex on that?
That is so. Bibba's actually like my only sister, obviously, and my partner doesn't have any sisters.
I'm the only auntie. Clock it.
so
I'm going to
excited.
be that rich auntie that flies the kids everywhere and
I
takes
love
them
that.
with
You
me.
can do that. You can do that.
Let's go skiing.
Do you know something I actually thought about as well?
What?
We probably will never have a child together.
You never know.
Oh
I've got to
my
go
God.
fucking freeze these
Whoa.
eggs.
Wait, really?
No, I don't know, but
I can't imagine you having another
I
child.
don't- I can't either.
You're not giving like patient maternal.
no, I'm not. I'm not.
vibes.
Like, if I am to have a kid, the
Full-time
agreement,
nanny.
full-time nanny.
Yeah,
Full-time nanny.
I
At
agree.
this point in my life, anyway. But yes, when your hormones are raging, and
Yeah.
it's weird because I never wanted to have a kid. You know that. I
No,
was
I
always
agree.
like, I rather like throw myself off a cliff before I have another child. Not for any reason.
Facts.
It's just it's not what I want.
Yeah.
And then last year, I from a couple of months, it was doing my head in. Even Instagram, I'd be flicking, it's time to freeze your eggs.
Yeah.
I'm getting ads. Like, I didn't ask for it. And then I was like, fuck, maybe I should. And I had like a couple of my girlfriends, my age, also going and freezing their eggs. And I'm like, is that something I should be doing in this time in my life? How did I get here already?
I know. It just happened. so
How
quickly.
did I get here? And it really, really emotionally fucked me up.
Yeah.
And I thought, let me go freeze these eggs. And then
She
my
didn't.
son pissed me off one day. And I said, fuck these eggs. Fuck these babies.
They're not
And
com-
fuck
not
the
happening.
idea of ever having another one. I'm
No.
not patient enough.
That
for
is Bibba
this.
core, guys. Bibba core. No kids.
No,
No
like,
inconvenience.
no, anything that's an inconvenience in my life
Is a big no.
is subtracted.
No, valid, babe. Valid.
Yeah. But then 2 nights ago, 2 days ago, actually, I'm
Yes.
driving to work and Heidi had to drive separate. And we're on the phone and I was telling her, I just can't tolerate talking to anyone, especially a certain someone, for no reason.
Yeah.
No reason. That person was being absolutely delightful to me. But I was just a monster for some reason. And I asked her, does this happen before you get your period? Like, if you're talking to a guy that you
normal.
have a lot of feelings for, you're with, do you feel like there are times that come and you're like, I
I
can't.
can't stand you.
But it's not even.
For no reason.
No
yeah.
reason.
And I explained to Bibba that when you're in your luteal phase of your menstrual cycle, which
So
is
just before.
just the few, like about 10 days before your period, obviously your body has registered that I'm not pregnant. And it's very normal for you to get like these raging emotions and you actually despise men and testosterone.
Yeah.
And it's very, very, very normal and common. I only experienced this for the first time, I think like last year. It was like before my period and I just was like, bro, I can't stand you. And I was like, I've never felt like that in my life. And then I was like, then I started, because like I knew, like I clocked what happened.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, does that mean my body is like ready to have kids? And I'm like, starting,
Yeah,
like,
because you're like 20.
I'm not ready. I'm a teenager.
Yes, you're a teenager. You're my daughter. Yes, that's
Stop
correct.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, really,
it's
I'm
so-
25. Like
yeah.
I was 24 at the time, but yeah, I'm at that age where like people like I think
I
there's a
was your
normal
age when I had my
That's
kid.
diabolical.
I know.
But like obviously like whatever. It's that time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. And then it makes so much sense. Your body is actually like angry and upset that it hasn't received its period. And then you get angry at men.
And it's what's so actual funny is the night before I was sending him reels on Instagram
Of
of
kids.
babies and animals
Yeah.
together. I was checking in on the animal. I know that he wants the baby, but and I thought they were so cute, and there was like these little videos.
Yeah, so
of
you would
babies.
have watched that, and then your brain start like without you even noticing is
but-
like registering these
yeah.
kids. Why don't I have kids? Like, and then it was that domino effect.
And it was crazy. So I had to like simmer it down a notch and be like, dude, you can't go from sending DMs like this
So
to
can't
being
see, yeah,
a dry bitch.
yeah,
Yeah. But this is how hormonal we can get, that
Yeah.
we switch. Within 6 hours, nothing happened. I was asleep.
yeah. But then you wake up, and that's
And I woke up.
That's the women hormone cycle for you.
Yeah. So that's why when I feel like women get to the age and they're like,
I want to have a kid.
I need to have
And
a
I get
fucking
it, but
kid.
then also like because they're in that state of like I really want to have a kid, are they making the best decisions for themselves and for that child to have it? And then at the same to have like a solo baby, and then at the same time, like for me, religiously, I just think it's so unethical.
Yeah.
And like, I just think like, if you like obviously have some sort of relationship with God, or there's like, you're a God-fearing person, there's like that sense, like if it's not written for me, you need to just accept that. And yeah, like it's very controversial because I personally know people who are like quite religious, no matter what they believe in, but they were struggling to have kids, and they did go through the IVF path, but they didn't tell anyone about it because it was so like in like the Christian community, it was like it's a big thing to like do IVF and have kids if it isn't in your will to have kids. However, I agree on that, but at the same time, I feel like these days, and obviously we all have a choice, but our lifestyle is so like designed by the government and these up there people for us to be ill, to not have kids, because they make so much more money having people go through IVF and go through all these other pathways than just simply falling pregnant. But then that comes down to the people's education, because I can guarantee that most of these people that are struggling to have children and then resort to IVF, if the men and women took a look at like if the men and women both took a look at their epigenetics, they're going to identify what their lifestyle factors are that are not allowing them to go down this route. And then also on the topic of that, sorry, my brain's in overdrive. Like people start the pill when they're like 14 years old, because apparently everyone now has fucking endometriosis and PCOS, and they don't understand that that is just the biggest like money laundering thing in the world, because you're on the pill for 10 years. Good luck trying to have a kid.
Well, that's why I got off it.
But
not
like,
that because
honestly,
I wanted to have a kid, but because
you realize how detrimental it is.
Yeah.
People don't understand, and it's so sad. But you go to a doctor because you obviously want their advice and you're trusting in them, but they don't have your best interest at heart, unfortunately.
Look, I think it's just the medical system.
It's the medical system.
It's what they're told to do.
Yeah. But then also, like, as a doctor,
They take an oath.
Yeah. I don't know. There are some doctors that are quite holistic. Like, I remember when I was younger, I used to get really, really heavy periods. And I went to the doctor and they'd, like, done this, like, ultrasound thing. And they're like, oh, like, you're fine. You can come back in a couple of years to see if you have endometriosis, but let's start you on the pill just in case.
Oh, my God.
I was, like, 14 at the time. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I ended up buying it. And then I was like, bro, what? I'm putting hormones in my body?
Yeah.
And I've always been like this weird holistic person.
It's not weird. It's amazing.
It is. It's pretty cool. But I was like, no, fuck that. Like, why would I do that to my body?
Yeah.
And yeah, and I'm so thankful that I made that decision, because
I'm so glad you did.
I didn't even have a cyst. The only thing I had was a heavy period. And they
That's
wanted me on the
insane.
pill. So like I think doctors also have their own judgment.
Yeah.
And then later on, when I went and saw a doctor, like I found out, I think I had like anemia or something. Like, I don't know, there was something wrong with my iron. And they gave me a more holistic route.
Yeah.
So I think everyone's a bit different. You're going to get different information and judgment.
Yeah. I agree. Look, I know I had had a conversation with my own mother, our mother. And I said to her, like, because she's like, you need to have another kid.
Yeah.
But how am I going to have another kid
Without
if there
a man?
was no man?
Yeah.
Because that's from, like, our background, that's never going to happen. You need to get married to have a kid.
Yeah.
You got to be married. And I said to her, like, what's the problem if I went and got IVF? I'm still going to raise this child really good. Like, I'm raising my son amazingly. I will raise this child just as well.
Yeah.
Oh, she lost her fucking shit.
Yeah, babe. Like that generation.
She lost her fucking shit. She was doing somersaults.
No matter how modern that generation is, like that were born between the 60s and the 70s, I feel like they still are they're still very in their ways because they've only known that way for so long.
Yeah.
Really, they're only like the last, 10 years, they've become a little bit more modern and they start to understand like this new societal vibe.
Yeah.
But like, no. Like there are things that are just always going to be a big no. And it's like moving out before you get married.
Oh, yes.
Having a baby without being married. The list just goes
Sleeping
on and on.
over your boyfriend's house before you get married.
It's all too much, honestly.
Oh my God, there's so medieval.
Yeah. But like, because religiously and culturally, like I feel like in Lebanon or like in, I don't know, like I know for a fact, like in India and stuff like that, they're very, very like cultural and like no is no.
Yeah.
You know, it's wrong, it's forbidden, it's looked down upon.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't even get divorced but like it's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, I get that. So I just want to give you, like, the Australian Bureau of Statistics made a report that there was 1.2 million single parents just in Australia. And
What?
the number is expected to grow. Over 900,000 are women.
Shut up.
Just in Australia. And this was from the census of 2021.
That sounds like such a large number, but at the same time, I feel like it's real.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many clients we come in that are single mums.
Yeah.
It's actually sad.
And it's sad that, like, the ones that want to become single mums
Yeah.
are stuck because also I've got to tell you some data about poverty. Like,
Yeah.
it's been proven that the single mums are the ones that have
Yeah, I think it's
the
like
most poverty.
36% of single mums are experiencing extreme poverty.
Extreme poverty. And it's really sad.
It
But
is.
so you've got a group that doesn't want to leave because doesn't want to end up in poverty,
Yeah.
and it's because they're getting supported there, and you've got a group there that's left and possibly in poverty,
But they're happy that they're
happier to be out.
It's so crazy. Like I always think about the divorce rates and how they're just inclining every single year.
Yeah.
And it's really freaky. Like what is happening?
This is why people want to have babies on their own.
Yeah. See, like when you think about it, I get it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Surely there's someone out there.
But, you know, you actually will be surprised that there are people in the world that never find their person.
I know.
And that's really sad.
Yeah.
And I think if they want to have kids, and that's what else are they going to live for? They've got no partner. Your siblings go on and live their own lives.
Yeah.
Your parents end up dying because they're way older. Like,
Real.
and what are you going to do?
Yeah. No, I get
A
that.
dog is great and everything, and so is a kitten, but fuck. You know,
want
they're
a
not
human.
gonna like be with you
Yeah.
in your
I agree with you because I know a few boys that are like, what, 37, 38 and single. And I just think, and like they see that everyone around them is like moving on and
Yeah.
they end up like, I don't know, like I feel for them.
Yeah.
But like I can't imagine these particular people ever going and becoming solo parents. But like all they want is a child.
I don't think those people you're talking about are capable of even having a relationship. Hence why
They're single.
They're single.
Yeah, but then same goes for women. Why are some women 40 and single?
Hello.
I know, but you just said they're not going to find their person.
Okay, but for example, let's just say I have found my person. My person doesn't even live in this country. I don't want him coming to live here. He doesn't even like it here. So it's not fair for me to say, drop everything and come live here.
Yeah.
And when he's made it very clear, I will come.
Yeah.
But if I do come, it's only because for you.
Yeah.
That isn't inviting for me. But also, I can't drop everything and go live in Lebanon.
Yeah.
So my person came with a lot of
Lots of fine print.
Fine print. Do you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I get that.
Everyone's person can come in a different form. Who knows? What about this?
Tell me.
A couple who have both done the IVF, they've taken the eggs and the embryos. The partner dies, but she goes on after he's died and gets the embryo and falls pregnant and has his child. How does that make you feel?
How did he die? What? So they were together, they were going through IVF, but he died before they planted the seed.
Yes. And there were still embryos that were actively sitting in the fridge.
That to me is so weird because this person is passed on, but his sperm is still alive.
Yeah. And he's still making life in his grave.
See, like I think
That's a
scientifically
powerful-
that's very powerful and cool. But then like it's just like, is that ethically even right?
Yeah,
but then at the same time, there are so many people that are pregnant and their husband dies.
Yeah,
Or
but
at
this is
war.
we're saying after. Like he died.
Yeah.
And
Is this
after
a
he
real
died.
thing?
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God. I wouldn't know what to do in that situation.
Like,
I think I would understand if they went through with it because they have a part of him.
Yeah.
It's like comforting.
that's
That's
strange,
really
eh?
sad though, and really, really, really strange that this person is having, like, the kid's birth is going to be months and months after the dad's death date. That is so crazy.
Yeah.
That's scientifically wild.
Yeah. But this is the time we're living in. Options.
The options are
possibilities
endless.
endless.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then when you look at it on the other hand of like single parenting. So
Yeah.
we just went through solo parenting and I don't think we came to an agreement.
Yeah.
But like
That's
single
okay. That's why
that's why we're
we
here.
got a lounge each.
A lounge each, that's correct. So we just went through solo parenting and
Yeah.
obviously we have our own opinions on that, which
Yeah.
is fine. But then when you look at single parenting I think is like has just as much like opinions and like
Yeah.
cultural shame
Yeah.
because it's like you were married but you couldn't make it work.
Yeah.
Do you get what I
You
mean?
failed.
Like you
at
failed.
marriage.
Yeah, like I feel like people have
At a
so
promise you
much
made before God.
yeah, people have so much more to say. So there's so much more judgment, so much more guilt and shame, and I think that that's fucked up.
It is.
I could like understand ish with like the solo parenting, but like single parenting shame is like really wild.
It is. It's fucking crazy.
And
I've been
this-
there.
Yeah. What was like the hardest part for you?
I wouldn't say. Okay, there was a couple of things, and I was thinking about this before, which you would recall when I tell you. It wasn't hard. It was just a shock.
Yeah.
What a very close family member of ours was getting married, and my mother was informed that she's invited, but I'm not, because it's a
Yes.
shame that I haven't gotten married
Yeah.
and that I'm a single woman.
Yeah.
Divorced woman.
Yeah.
And they don't want.
angry.
Yeah, they don't want me.
This is a real thing. Our
Yeah.
actual cousin.
Yeah, okay.
There's
so
no
you-
need to say someone we know because she's a bitch, but an actual cousin did
love
not
it.
want to have my sister. I
Yeah.
don't even think she wanted mum there either. So our parents also divorced. And it was like a big thing when she got divorced. And as a child, I never understood
Yeah.
why her family had such a problem with it.
Yeah.
Because would you rather her be married just for the sake of being
Yeah.
married when she was like unhappy, constantly cheated on, like
Yeah.
there was so much shit. And then when she gets divorced and she's happy, it's a problem. And then even
That's culture.
it's sickening. But yeah, I vividly remember that time because this was in only recently.
Probably like 5 years ago or something.
Yeah,
4
like
years
5,
ago.
6
4
years ago,
ye-
whatever.
4 years ago.
No, a bit longer.
Okay.
Anyways, and I still remember because I found it so weird
Yeah.
again. But the words were like she's divorced, and we don't want her there.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
And
And I'm not
it's
gonna
like-
come take your man's.
Like no one wants your man, babe.
At all.
But the thing is, I find that crazy because if you're divorced, why is there suddenly this like shame, and why is there suddenly this like perception of you that you want everyone's man,
No,
and that
please.
like you just
Couldn't
can't
wait
be
to run away from my own man.
It's crazy. Why
Yeah.
is it that? I don't get it.
I think, and I know when I got divorced, your mum sat me down and she said, listen, you are now divorced.
You're welcome.
Like, but she basically made me feel like dicks are going to be flying at you. It's like you're going to be attracting all these vile men that just want to have like sleep with you because you're divorced. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. I think actually like it sort of can make sense because I do
Yes.
know that there are a lot of people when they do get divorced,
Exactly.
they go on this rampage. It's like
Yeah.
catching up.
Yeah.
And then like they'll
For lost time.
yeah, literally. And I get that. And maybe there's like this massive misconception that like everyone is gonna be like that. But it's still really fucked up because in your situation, you got divorced for reasons that you couldn't control.
Yeah.
Like it was the choice of your partner at the time.
Yeah.
And you were a single mom and you were just working, doing the
Yeah.
best you can.
I know. You're so sweet.
No, but
That's
it's
really
the truth.
nice. Oh, Bea.
What? It's the truth.
Make me emotional.
Don't get emotional.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's really sickening when there's like, I hate the
It's a
stigma.
stigma on anything.
Yeah.
Like, I think females are, being a female is a stigma, I feel like sometimes.
Like, yeah, you're just. No, the other day, actually, I was having this conversation with these people, and they were saying to me, like we were on the topic of like men and women, and they're like, yeah, women are nothing without men. I'm like, what do you mean? Like the man is the head and the woman is the heart, and without a man or woman can't make a decision. And I'm just like
Shut
why?
the fuck up.
Men are so annoying, and they just think that they just know everything. But be so for real. Our producer's laughing at this. What's funny?
It is funny,
But
because
is it true?
My wife, if she was on a do or die situation, like she was on a plane, and we were like heading somewhere, and the pilot is a man and a woman, and there has to be emergency landing. Whom are you gonna choose? And between a man pilot and a female pilot, whom are you gonna choose to save life? Obviously, it's man. So things like this, you need to...
Look, I think men are better pilots. So I would go with the man too.
Okay.
No, but I've got a question. If you had a kid with your wife and you guys were in a life and death situation, you had to save one of them. Who are you saving?
Kid or my wife?
Yeah.
If you say the wrong
No,
answer,
hold
I'm
on.
canceling
There's no wrong answer. Go on. Because
Probably my wife.
Thank you.
Good.
That is the correct answer.
Fine.
If you said kid, I was throwing you out that window.
Yeah.
I can still make it,
Yeah, make another one.
Yeah. No, your wife
alright,
comes
yeah.
first. God, wife, kid, parents.
Oh, clock it.
No, but it's true. I don't understand why people confuse the
The
order.
the hierarchy. Oh my God.
That was funny because I called my mom. Obviously, as she's gonna say, she's gonna choose a female pilot. And then I called my mom, and my mom's like, "Oh, I'll probably choose a female as well." And then tomorrow, the next day, she calls me, "Oh, son, only because Ash was there, I didn't want her to feel bad. I would choose a male."
Oh, she couldn't sleep all night waiting for you to wake up. Oh,
That's so
sweet.
funny.
I asked my sisters; they also choose male pilots, obviously.
I definitely think that men and women go hand in hand. I don't think that we can't live without each other. But then it doesn't mean that the man is more important.
I agree.
I think because maybe back in the day, you married because the man was the provider. The man went and hunted for food.
and it was
The man did
stoic
so
and-
much. But bro, we do that with our eyes closed these days, us women.
100%.
So we don't really need you. We choose to have you.
That's right. You're only here because I want you to be here,
Yes.
not because I need you to be
That's
here.
right. So yeah, that's really pissed me off the other day. I just had to get that off my chest.
Yeah. How did you handle the situation? Because I know you would have gotten up and flipped some tables.
No, I'm learning to be calm. No, I in the beginning I was like, no, like that's not true. And then
Yeah.
I said my point of like women like these days do all that.
Yeah.
And then stupidly I looked at my boyfriend. I was like, don't we? And then he's like, see, you need a man's validation. And I was like, fuck. And then it really annoyed me. And then later on in the conversation, I asked again. I'm like, yeah, that's right, isn't it? And then his friend was like, see, that's the second time in 5 minutes you ask for it. And I'm like, bro, fuck off. But like, you don't even realize.
That's actually so cute that you need, like, you
Yeah, but, like,
it's not that you need his validation. It's just that you involve him in all your thoughts.
Yeah, like.
That's cute.
And then, yeah, so, but to them, they took it as in like, oh, a woman can't make a decision on her own. She needs a man. And like.
That's not true. That is not true. And I can tell you that for a fact. Like, I've done 11 and a half years. Very fucking single.
Yeah.
And I swear to you, I've had to make some fucked up decisions.
Yeah.
And I think I've made the right decision. Maybe I don't know. Maybe things could have gone righter.
Yeah.
Better in my life. But
from their perspective, it's like I get it in some ways because like men are less emotional when they think and we are more emotional. But like I feel like what they're saying is like so ancient times. They're very stuck in that.
well, the thing is, there's more sayings about behind every great man is a phenomenal woman or whatever.
That's right. Look, they agreed with that. And they said like the woman is the heart. She drives a man.
Yeah.
But the man's the head. And I'm like, please.
This morning when I opened up Instagram, the first video that came up was a Russian MMA fighter. He was getting beat the fuck up in the ring,
beat up like
this man's head ended up looking like a Halloween
I
pumpkin.
can't look at that.
Anyway, he's getting beat up and his wife jumps out of the crowd and runs to the cage and starts just screaming. The guards are pulling her back and she won't take no for an answer. She's slipping out of the arms and she's like, she's literally at the cage and I don't know what she's telling him, but she's like, get up, don't. He ends up, because he was like laying on his back and he ends up using his legs, putting them around the guy's neck while he's getting beat. The wife is there encouraging him, go harder, don't stop, don't give up, whatever she's screaming in his ear. And he got up and the guy tapped out. And that is because
That is how powerful a woman is.
That is how powerful a woman is.
And you're trying to tell me that you're the head, please.
Yeah, your head was getting smashed until your wife came.
That is so true. And without us, men can't be successful, bro. Let's be so for real.
I agree. They need a lot of... I'm realizing like they've got such a baby side to them.
They do.
Like they're actually
Yeah.
like
And I feel like when
not
men...
in a bad way. I'm not even saying
I love when men are in touch with their feminine side. But like I also feel like a lot of
girl.
men... Especially when they're in relationships, it's like just the girlfriend effect. They end up... They find this like new profound love and they love it. And then they want to feel babied. And men love being the little spoon and they love being spoiled. Like, bro, they fucking froth that shit. And then in public, they try to act like the biggest like men. Like, I don't care. But deep down, they all know that they love it. Like, Avi, you like being the big spoon when you cuddle?
Not really.
You like being the big spoon or the small spoon? Sorry.
I like being the big spoon.
Really?
Yeah, and then sometimes there are days where I don't mind being...
You're being held.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, 100%.
We all need a bit of loving.
No, that's true. I have experienced that now, and I'm like, shocked. You know, he said to me the other day, "You never laid your head on my chest." I'm like, that's because your head was in my chest and needed cuddling the whole time.
Men love it. They're actually
I
babies.
was like, that is insane.
Wow.
Actual babies.
They are.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Bless them. But, you know, I back to the topic, I still believe it is okay for a woman or a man to make this ultimate decision. Actually, I would prefer a woman to make the ultimate decision of solo parenting than the man.
Why?
A woman knows how to nurture. It's in us.
Yeah. There are actually statistics that show that children can live without a father, but they can't live without a mother.
Yeah. And not saying men don't parent.
Actually, I might take that back before the men start coming at me.
That's all right. They can come at us. And that's not to take away a single bit about men and the way they parent.
Of course.
I've seen amazing fathers.
Yeah.
That I'm like literally applying to be their daughters, Heidi and I. And amazing. But a mother's love and a mother's touch and the nurturing, the way we can hold our babies is, I think, a lot different to how a man holds.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget, like, that child is made inside of you.
Yeah.
It's not made inside of a man.
It's a different connection. It's a different type of love.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's I don't know. That's what I think.
Yeah.
No, and I still think you single dads, great job.
No, there are amazing single dads out there.
Yeah.
Goes both ways. I think there's always, it depends on the person.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, I think like if you're going to go through this solo IVF,
just make sure there's a male figure in their life that they can look up to.
And then like,
if you're a female.
Yeah, we'll just leave it
or
at
a
that.
male.
We'll leave it at that for now.
Maybe an uncle.
Or an uncle.
Or a
gunkle. Something. A male.
Not dirty uncles.
Not what?
Not dirty uncles.
No dirty uncles. No, we're no pedophiles here. We're not into that stuff.
I could choke.
She nearly choked. Well, that's that, guys. I feel like we can do another whole episode on this because we sort of dove deep on like another similar topic.
Our ADHD was like...
It's prevalent, guys. It's here. It's here to stay.
But I really enjoyed this chat.
Yeah, me too.
I think it was like nice to hear your point of view because after we spoke about it in the car, I said, stop
talking to me.
We're not discussing it. We're going to talk about it on the pod.
Well, yeah, that's it. Love it. Well, let us know your thoughts. If you think solo parenting through IVF is okay, do you think it's wrong? Do you think it's right? Should men do it? Should women do it? We want to know. And if you have anything else to say, you can always email us or comment below, guys.
We love you so much. Thanks for tuning in.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next week. Mwah.